Have any of you seen that song that Steve Martin did? It was really funny. Atheists don't got no songs. Have you ever seen that? It's really funny, but it's not true, of course. There's John Lennon's Imagine, and there's a lot of songs that atheists and agnostics have been singing over the years. I wrote a song in 1988, happy as can be, I'm your neighborhood atheist, friendly as can be, hi, I'm your neighborhood atheist. Well, if you want to hear that whole song, it's on the Friendly Neighborhood Atheist CD that FFRF has produced. We have 3 albums. But atheists and agnostics and secular humanists have been writing music forever. In fact, many of the great composers that we know about, Brahms and Verdi. Verdi was an outspoken atheist. Brahms was non-religious. Berlioz and Bizet and Debussy and Ravel and Janacek. Aaron Copland was, from a Jewish family, but he was non-religious at all. The Gershwins, of course, Ralph Vaughan Williams, Edward Elgar, who wrote Pomp and Circumstances. When people graduate, they're marching to a song written by a non-believer later in his life. Scott Joplin, his ragtime stuff. Irving Berlin and Yip Harburg, who wrote Over the Rainbow, and Jerome Kern and Richard Rodgers and so many others, non-believers. Richard Rodgers was an outspoken atheist, and he said that. He told his daughter, if you get sick, I'm taking you to the hospital, not to the church, So we owe a great debt. Of course, there's a lot of beautiful religious music in the world, but we owe a great debt to non-religious who have enriched the world with music. And then there's one of the songs that Annie Laurie asked me to write in a tango style, because the tango was a song that the church had outlawed. Did you know that? Beware of dogma, it has a bite. Beware of dogma, it wants a fight. Beware of dogma, it will ignite a holy war by itself. Beware of dogma, it'll trap your mind. Religious dogma, it'll make you blind. Beware of dogma, it's not designed to let you think for yourself. If we let it out in the universe, there will be no doubt everything is worse. Beware of dogma, don't let it loose, that unchained dogma, it'll reproduce. Tie up your dogma, there's no excuse for ignorance anymore. Please clean up after your dogma. And then there's the battle of church and state. We got to fight the battle of church and state, church and state, church and state. We got to fight the battle of church and state, or the wall will come tumbling down. I've heard about your hero Joshua, but his accomplishments are not so great, because there's none like the founding fathers and the wall between church and state. We got to fight the battle of church and state, church and state, church and state. We got to fight the battle of church and state, or the wall will come tumbling down. Some say that the wall between church and state is just a bad metaphor. But if unbelievers can't be protected from the rest, then what is the Bill of Rights for? We got to fight the battle of church and state, church and state, church and state. We got to fight the battle of church and state, or the wall will come tumbling down. Now you know this words, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Some of you know those words. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. We got to fight the battle of church and state, church and state, church and state. We got to fight the battle of church and state, or the wall will come a-tumbling. Or the wall will come a-tumbling down. Ten years ago at our convention in Hartford, Connecticut, in 2011, we had about half of the members that we have today. The Broadway composer Charles Strauss came and sang for us and talked to us. He wrote Annie and Bye Birdie, and he said, I don't want to give a talk, can I just play some of my songs? So he played like The Sun Will Come Up Tomorrow. He's a lifelong atheist, and he knows that a lot of songwriters and composers are non-religious. And during dinner that night, he said, Dan, let's write a song that atheists could sing, that it could express my viewpoints. So he said, send me some words and I'll set them to music. So I did, and he did. The multitudes mumble mythologies without end, but me, I have trouble with ologies that pretend to show what can't be shown, to know what can't be known. Lutherans have liturgies, Calvinists have creeds, Muslims have their minarets, Catholics have their beads, Methodists have methods, holy truth to ascertain, but poor little me, I only have a brain. Bishops transubstantiate, Shintos ring their bells, Transcendentalists meditate while Wiccans weave their spells. Hindus chant a mantra when they can't relieve the pain. But poor little me, I only have a brain. So fearful of the Netherland, believers band together. Unhappy with the weatherman, the Zunies wave a feather. They dance in circles to demand great spirit send some rain. But what do you do if you only have a brain? Quakers quake and Shakers shake, and Jews eat kosher food. Rastafarians wear their hair in pious gratitude. They all boast of miracles that no one can explain. But poor little me, I only have a brain. So fearful of the Netherland, believers band together. Unhappy with the weatherman, the Zunies wave a feather. They dance in circles to demand great spirit send some rain. But what do you do if you only have a brain? Quakers quake and Shakers shake, and Jews eat kosher food. Rastafarians wear their hair in pious gratitude. They all boast of miracles that no one can explain. But poor little me, I only have a brain. That was Charles Strauss. I think he's in his 90s now. Still doesn't believe in God. We have a tradition at the Freedom from Religion Foundation where usually we start or end the conference with the old German free thought anthem. Some of you know it. It's called Die Gedanken sind frei, which was written way back in the 1500s. It was sung by the resistance in Nazi Germany. And many free thinkers that came to the United States started singing that song. Die Gedanken sind frei. Some of you know what that means? The thoughts are free. My thoughts are free. So here's one of the English translations. I think there's 3 or 4, and of course the way I learned it's the right way. And if you know the song, you're welcome to sing along. We're not like a church or anything, but if you know it, you might want to join in Die Gedanken sind frei. Die Gedanken sind frei, my thoughts freely flower. Die Gedanken sind frei, my thoughts give me power. No scholar can map them, no hunter can trap them, no person can deny. Die Gedanken sind frei. I think as I please, and this gives me pleasure. My conscience decrees, this right I must treasure. My thoughts will not cater to duke or dictator. No person can deny. Die Gedanken sind frei. And should tyrants take me and throw me in prison, my thoughts will burst free like blossoms in season. Foundations will crumble and structures will tumble, and free people shall cry, Die Gedanken sind frei. And free people shall cry, Die Gedanken sind frei. I have a couple of minutes left, and I think I will just do an homage to feminism. Feminism is a big topic amongst our group and in our foundation. It's one of the reasons, it's the main reason why FFRF was started, because of opposition to women's rights was mainly by the church. And so Anne and Annie Laurie Gaylor back in the 70s really concerned about feminism and religious freedom. And one of Anne Gaylor's, is it her favorite song, or one of Anne Gaylor's favorite songs is called Bread and Roses. It's an old feminist anthem commemorating a mill workers' strike back in, what year was it, 1913? It's called Bread and Roses. I'll just do a couple of verses in here we have. As we go marching, marching in the beauty of the day, 1,000,000 darkened kitchens, 1,000 mill lofts gray are touched with all the radiance that a sudden sun discloses. For the people hear our singing, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, unnumbered women dead go crying through our singing, their ancient cry for bread. Small art and love and beauty, their trudging spirits knew. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses true. As we go marching, marching, we're standing proud and tall. The rising of the women means the rising of us all. No more the drudge or idler tend that toil where one reposes, but a sharing of life's glories. Bread and roses, bread and roses, bread and